Hello students, welcome to Environmental Studies and we are in module number 5, so which is nothing but latest developments in environmental pollution mitigation tools. So this is the second video which I am going to through which I am going to explain. In my last video I explained about remote sensing and so environment impact assessment. So these two topics that we have covered in my last video. And in this video, I am going to explain about environmental management systems and ISO 14001 and environmental stewardship, that is NGOs. So these three topics that I am going to cover in this video. So let us straight away go to the topics. The first one is environmental management systems, EMS. So what is all about this environmental management system? So it is the developed which is compliance with ISO 14001 standard. So we all know that there is a standard ISO 14001. So to in compliance with that environmental management systems also developed. So what is the strategy for this? Is to implement its environmental policy and address government regulations. Right. So what are the things that this EMS is going to focus is that meeting the commitments identified in organization's policy. So it can be reducing or eliminating the negative environmental impacts. So this is important that thing that we are going to see. Reducing the eliminating the negative environmental impacts of its products, services and activities. So this is the main major role that we are going to see. Eliminating the negative environmental impacts of its products, services and activities and or increasing the positive effect. So eliminating the negative environmental impacts and increasing the positive effect. So this is all about this environmental management system focuses on. The main motto of this EMS is to reduce the negative environmental impacts and to increase the positive effect. So environmental management system goals. So what are the goals of this EMS is? The first one is maintaining minimal legal standards. So that is nothing but company should not face any kind of fines which is given by the government and unnecessary government intervention or may not be able to cooperate. So all these things will focus on. So these are the goals to right. So and next one is waste reduction, like to reduce environmental impact. So whatever the industries that we take, or automobile industry or any other waste contributing to our surroundings or atmospheres. So all these things, the main motto of this environmental management system is to reduce the waste, which goes beyond the compliance to reduce environmental impact. So what are the things that EMS helps? Developing and implementing and managing and coordinating and monitoring the environmental policies. The third one is pollution prevention and waste minimization. So these are the two important things that again it is going to focus. So what are we going to get? So by doing all these things is waste is reduced by recycling. So the major drawback for our pollution is nothing but the waste. So waste management is very important. It is a very challenging task for all of us nowadays, because everywhere waste is dumped and we do not know how to handle it, and lots of things are being implemented to segregate the waste into wet waste and dry waste, all these things and all. So now our goal is that environmental management system goal is to how to prevent it, and how to prevent it. In that the main the focus is how to reduce it by recycling. So recycling is one of the best methods that we can introduce to reduce the waste contribution. So this is what the main thing that we are going to, how to recycle it. So all the things should not be dumped instead. So how to recycle it and how to make it as a useful product. So these are the goals. So first one I repeat. So maintaining minimal legal standards, and the company should not face the fines, and the government intervention should be minimum, and then waste reducing, so which is going beyond that level, and standard levels, and then the pollution prevention, waste minimization. So how to do this? Which is focusing on reducing by recycling. Okay, so these are the important goals that we are going to see. And again, so the EMS model is going to come up with a particular cycle. So in the cycle, we call it as a plan, do, check, act cycle. So that is nothing, in short form, we can call it as PDCA cycle. Plan, do, check, and act. So all of the other departments, we all do that. Planning will be done in the beginning, and so we'll do implement it. So along with that, planning and implementing, so we are going to have a thorough check on this, and then after thorough check on that particular thing, so we are going to act on that. All right. So what is all about this? The process of including checking and acting is the additional thing which is added than the conventional method. Is the environmental management system. Okay. So what is the main motto of this EMS is a process of continual improvement for any organization, constantly reviewing and revising the system. So okay, and then so it is widely used in manufacturing, from manufacturing facilities to service industries to government agencies. So this is a wide range organization, this environmental management system. So we can see the cycle, how, so this is the continual process. So where it will start from planning, and then it is implementing or doing, and then after doing, so when the process is going on, there is a thorough check. Okay, so what is to be added and what is to be eliminated, the thorough check, and then again it is going to act. So once it is acting, again the planning will be done. It's a continual process. So this is all about this environmental management system model. Okay, and then coming to this ISO 14001, it's a certified model. So ISO 14001. So what is all of this? This is an international standard. So it provides a framework that an organization can follow rather than establishing environmental performance requirements. Right? So what is that framework? So ISO 14001 framework is, so there are different things will be added. So will be what you call moving around this framework. So which is nothing but a first planning, and then support, and then operation, and then performance evaluation, and continual improvement, and context of the organization, and then the leadership. Okay, so these are the standards that we are going to follow in this ISO 14001 for an effective environmental management systems. For the effective EMS, this ISO 14000 will come into picture. And then coming to this ISO 14001, so what is the outcome that we are going to get in this what you call certified ISO, which is what is that intended outcomes, which is enhancement of environmental performance, and next one is a fulfillment of compliance obligations, and then continual achievement of environmental objectives. So these are the main important outcomes that we are going to get from this certificate program, that ISO 14001. So which will provide the value for the environment, at the same time the organization and the interested parties. So whichever they want to implement, the parties, so they are going to get the continual environmental management system. And then, so next what you are going to see is what are the advantages that we are going to see through this certification. So the first one is we are going to get the increased resource efficiency, and lower consumption and environmental goals, and reduction of environmental risks in your company, and continuous implementation of the necessary environmental protection measures, and then integration of environmental management into business processes, and internationally recognized environmental management system, and increased resource efficiency. So all these things will be centered around this ISO 14001 certification. So these are the advantages of ISO 14001. So the main thing is that we have to understand the outcomes. What are the different outcomes that we are going to get through this? Now let's moving on to this environmental stewardship, which is the NGOs. So the main thing is that actually the first and foremost, particular, a responsible person. So the founder is nothing but Aldo Leopold. So from the year 1887 to 1949, so he what he call anchored this particular environmental stewardship, and so he introduced and became the founder of this. And he the what does it the environmental stewardship talk about? So it is the responsible use and protection of natural environment. So this an environmental stewardship will deal with the man's relationship to land, animals, and plants which grow upon it. Okay, so it will give the connection between the human origin to the soil, the land, animals, the creatures, plants, all the living organisms. So that there is a connection which gives between these two. So this is nothing but the environmental stewardship, and what does it refer to? It refers to responsible use, protection, and the of the natural environment. So we can see in this picture. So what are the things that it is centered around? So local environmental stewardship actions. So capacity, motivations, and actors. So three different angles that it is centered around, and social ecological context and change. So this will produce ecological and social outcomes of stewardship. So we can see in the pictures that how we nurture, not nature, is a nurture the plants, and so it is giving a connection between the human origin and the plants, because nowadays deforestation is happening everywhere. So cutting down the trees, and that is again giving an impact on the ozone layer depletion of it is really causing the depletion of ozone layers. And the main important thing is that in the year 2015, when it goes on, it happens the same thing. So there will be a major setback happens in this environment, that humidity increases, and the temperature increases, and it is very difficult for us, the human origin, to live with. So how important it is to grow the plants, and how important it is to what we call to reduce the depletion of ozone layers. So all these things will come into picture. So all these things will be centered around the environmental stewardship, right? And so environmental stewardship, so these are the different the important factors that will come across, that are promoting the conservation, efficiency, renewable energy, and protecting our natural resources, and minimizing use of water and minerals, and reducing greenhouse and gas emissions, what I was talking about. So apart from this depletion of ozone layers, so the greenhouse effect, and the emissions which are coming out from gas emissions from the automobiles. So different sort of oxides of nitrogen, carbon dioxide, and sulfur dioxide. So different, so to reduce all these harmful gases which are coming out from these automobiles, which are really harmful to the human beings. And then social responsibility, and PNNL sustainability, Pacific Northwest National Laboratory sustainability, and the economic prosperity. So all these things will focus on this. These are the what we call the outcomes that we come across with the help of this environmental stewardship NGOs. And so by practicing this, what are the results that we are going to get? What are the benefits, the positive benefits we are going to get? So first one is saving costs and additional value, potentially reducing your site's regulatory responsibilities, improving environmental performance and reducing liabilities, providing you with a competitive advantage due to more effective operations. So all these things, we get the result out of it, we get the benefit. And there is a kind of a different additional statement given, so that we have to follow. Don't underestimate the benefits that come from knowing your business has done its part to ensure that a healthy and a safe environment is passed on to future generations. A great responsibility for all of us. So what we are getting that benefit out of this environment or ecology, it is our responsibility in each and every person's hand, this handover to the future generations the same way or in a better way, that if we can contribute from our end, so we can do that. so to hand over to the next generations. So all these things comes under this environmental stewardship NGOs. So these are the things that we have seen here in this module. Okay, thank you very much for watching this video, and we'll continue the next topic in the other video. So thank you very much.